Hello all, welcome to this particular exercise on AutoCAD. In this particular exercise, we'll be taking a look at this drawing shown on your screen. If you are interested in following along with this exercise, you can download a copy of this drawing in the description below. In this particular drawing, we'll be making use of the following drawing tools and modifying tools. We'll be making use of construction line, circle, copy, fillet, array, trim. Then later on, we'll be doing layers and dimension. In case you are not familiar with some of these tools, you can check our previous videos on these tools in order to learn how to use these tools very well. Now, let's get started. Our first task in achieving this drawing is to draw our center line. So you can see the main center line, vertical and horizontal. Then we have another center line here. Then we also have two circular center lines of diameter 36 and diameter 75. So we have two circular center lines. So by drawing the center lines first, it's going to make it easy for you to achieve your orthographic drawing. The center line are going to serve as framework for the drawing. So now let's get started. So to do the center line, I'm going to make use of construction line. So construction line vertical, construction line again, horizontal. Escape on my keyboard. Then I'm going to go to the next construction line to the right, which is at 72. So I'll be making use of offset to do that. So I click offset distance of 72, select object and offset to the right. So in case you are not seeing the second line, you might want to adjust your zoom in order to see the line very well. Then next, I'll be drawing another center line to the top and to the bottom of distance 130. So from the main center line horizontal, I need two other center lines to the top and to the bottom of distance 130, which is 65 up, 65 down. So I'm going to use offset again. Offset distance of 65 this time. So from here up, then select again down. So you might want to use your zoom in order to see that very well. Okay, the next task for me is to draw my circular center line of diameter 36 and diameter 75. I'm going to convert this to their radius value, which is going to give me radius 18 and radius 37.5. So circle, radius 18, then another circle, the same center point, radius 37.5. You would observe that my object snap is activated while I'm picking the center of the circle. So that's going to enable me to pick the intersection of the two lines. So my object snap was on. All right. So now after drawing the framework, now I have the framework of the drawing ready. So this is going to help me to achieve the drawing more easily. So next I'm going to move to the top and draw these two circles of diameter 26 and three of it. We have three copies of it. So of this smaller one, another copy here, two, another copy here, three, another copy here, three. So we have three copies of it, diameter 12. So I'm going to draw it, these two circles. So the radius value is going to be radius 13 and radius 6. Radius 13 and radius 6. So I'm going to draw these circles. Circle, radius 6, another circle, radius 13. So now I can make copies of the circle. So copy, I'll pick from the center point. So drop here, drop here. Okay. So after achieving that, my next task is to connect these two circles, the one at the top and the one below, with an arc of radius 82. So I'm going to be connecting these two circles with an arc of radius 82. So to achieve that, I'll be making use of tangent option of circle. So we have an option called tangent radius. So I'll be making use of this option. So with this option, I will make sure that my tangent is on my drawing aid. My object snap, that my tangent is activated. So with this done, I can select the tangent point. The tangent point is around here. The second tangent point is around here. And the radius is 82. So by doing that, it has given me a big circle connecting these two smaller circles. So next I'll be using trim to delete unwanted parts, to trim off unwanted parts. So click on trim, press enter on your keyboard, then trim off unwanted parts. So just in case you don't know how to use your trim, you can check the video on trim under modifying tools. So I've been able to achieve that. The next task for me is I can see that I have a circle here. I have a circle here. So I'm going to be drawing this circle. Let me get information of this circle. Let me look around. Okay. So for this circle, the diameter is 95. You can see this 95 here. So this circle is of diameter 95 and the radius value will be 47.5, converting it to radius. So circle, center radius option of circle. This is the center of the circle, the radius 47.5, enter. So now I have the circle. Then next, I'll be connecting this circle I've just drawn with this small circle here. I have radius 8. So up and down, I'll be connecting the two. So I'm going to be using fillet to achieve that. So I'll click on fillet, radius 8. Then I'll make sure I click on multiple option because I'll be applying it twice. Click on multiple. Now I can select this, select this. Then I'm going to go down because my multiple option is activated. I can apply it twice. Okay, so my drawing is coming up. Now, next task for me is to connect this circle with this smaller one with a line. So I'm going to be using a line to connect that. So I'll be using a line while making sure tangent is on. Tangent, okay. So because tangent is on, so I want this to be connected and it should be tangent to one another. So I'm going to do that again. Okay, all right. Now that is done, then I'm going to be using, do I need to trim? All right, I don't need to trim. Yes. So then lastly, I have this object here where we have 6 copies of it. We have 6 copies. So I'm going to draw one of it. Then I'll be making use of array to draw the other 6. So first of all, I'm going to concentrate on drawing one of this piece. Then I'm going to use array to get the other 6 copies. So what information do I have? Now, luckily for me, I've been able to draw the center lines, these two circular center lines, and the center lines are the center points, the center length for 2 small circles. Now here you have radius 5. So another circle of radius 5 here. So this is radius 5. Then another radius 5 here. Then I'll connect with line. So I'm going to focus on drawing this particular one. Radius 5, circle of radius 5. So I'll go to my drawing, circle at this center point, radius 5. Another circle, radius 5. Then I'm going to connect these two circles with a line. So I click on line. So now I need to make sure my tangent is on. Tangent is still on my drawing aid, my object snap. I still have tangent on. So I'm not just picking intersection. It would be wrong for me to pick the intersection because no, here I have a center circular line. So it's not on a straight line. So I'll make sure that tangent is on. So with my tangent on, it's going to make sure that the lines are well connected at the point of tangency. I'm going to repeat the same thing for here, tangent and tangent. So I'm not using intersection, but I'm using tangent. So it doesn't have to touch this particular line. So this line does not have to touch this particular circle. So because tangent is on, I'm able to do this correctly. Now I'm going to trim off unnecessary lines formed. Okay, if I zoom, I can trim off this too. Okay, all right, good. All right, now this is well formed. I've been able to form one piece of this. Then I want to use array to form the other six pieces. So array, polar array, I'll select a copy of the piece, then center point, then I want six copies, then I'm going to accept. Okay, so now finally we've been able to achieve this drawing. We have used a couple of tools. So if you don't know how to use some of these tools, you can check the previous videos on how to learn the tools. So the next thing for me is I'm going to apply layers, then I'll be adding dimensions. To apply layers, I'll go to my layer property, click on new layer. Let me call this center line, make it color red. All right, create another one, thick line, give it a black color, then make sure it is thick. Okay, so for my center line, I'll make sure the line type is a center line. Okay, load. Okay. All right, so that done. I'm going to close this. Then I'm going to apply my layers. But before I apply my layers, I want to make sure that my center lines, you can see the center line that I did using construction line is very long. So I'm going to trim it off. So to do that, I'll first draw a rectangle. Then I'll use trim. I'll trim outside the boundary of the rectangle. Now I'll delete the rectangle. So I'm going to make my center lines. I'm going to shorten them to make it look much better. So I put on my auto to make sure that the lines are constrained horizontally and vertically. Okay. So I'm adjusting my center lines. Before I apply my layers. Okay. All right. So my center line is now looking good. All right. I think my center lines now is looking good. So now I can now apply my layers. So first of all, I'll select everything and give it the thick line property. Escape on my keyboard. So now to confirm that the thick line is there, I would activate show or hide line weight option. Okay, so by putting on the show or hide line weight, so that has confirmed that everything is on thick line, but I really don't want everything to be on thick line. So I'm going to select the center lines and give it the center line properties. So don't forget the circular center line. Okay, so center line. All right, that's good. So now my center lines are in red color, but center lines are meant to be broken lines, right? So I'm going to adjust the property of the center line. I'm going to pick a copy of it, right click, properties, adjust the line type scale to 10, enter. Okay, so now this is already in broken line. So I'm going to apply the same property I've just done to others. So to do that, I'll use match property tool. MA is the shortcut. MA on my keyboard, enter, select the source, which is this, then now apply to others. and to my center lines. Escape on my keyboard. Now this is looking good. Then lastly, I'll be applying my dimensions. So first of all, I'll do my dimension setting. New dimension. New dim. Okay, continue. I'll do my settings. Line, dimension line. I want it to have a magenta color. Magenta color. Symbol and arrow. My arrow size. Let me make it to be 6. Text height 6 also. Text alignment, align with dimension line. Then text color also to have magenta. Then primary units, I want it to be a whole number. Alright, so I've done my setting. I'll set it as current and I'll close. Now I can apply my dimension. So let me start with linear. So now to apply your dimension, make sure that your object snap is on and you have intersection activated. So with that done, I can apply my dimension. So now you can see, okay, I think I would like to change my dimension color. So I'll go and modify that. So from magenta, let me change it to blue to make it very visible. So I'm going to change it from magenta to blue color. Okay. Okay. All right. Blue looks good for me. All right. So I'll continue applying the dimension to confirm that my drawing is correct. Okay. All right. Then for the circular radius, so radius 82 confirmed. Radius 48. So if I want to use the diameter value, I can just pick diameter. Then it gives me the diameter value, diameter 26. Then let me use radius for this. Radius 5. Then diameter value for this. Diameter 75. Diameter. Okay, okay, all right. So now you can see now that we have our drawing done and our dimension added. So I'm sure you must have learned one or two things in this particular exercise. So if you're able to approach your orthographic drawing like this, you're going to find it very easy to achieve your orthographic drawings. So if you have learned one or two things in this exercise, kindly subscribe to this channel, share with your friends, and give us a like on this video. So I hope to see you in other exercise. Thank you so much.